Fanatic Brackets Season 3, Episode 5. I am Nick, your host. With me, as always, is my co-host, Joel.
Yes, sir.
And today, for the month of May, we are joined by none other than content creator, Tyler Wrestles. Tyler, how are you, man? How's everything?
I am awesome. I'm so happy to be here. Since you invited me, and I've been listening to a lot of your podcasts and stuff, and I'm enjoying the show. So this should be fun.
I appreciate that. Glad to have you on. We've been following each other for quite some time, so glad that we were able to work with you and finally have you on the show to do something.
Yep.
So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Yep, no problem.
This month's topic of the brackets is the top indie wrestler that is not signed to WWE or AEW. There are a few TNA guys in here, but what was the if there's a reason why you chose this topic that you found this one pretty interesting?
I mean, the main reason I guess I did, I know I'm listening to some of your guys' past episodes. I know you do a lot of AEW and WWE stuff, and I feel like these guys, I hopefully you know who all these people are.
Mhm.
I don't know how familiar you are 100% indie wise, but the main thing was I feel like these are people that I left out a lot of people like let's say Matt Cardona or someone who's already been there before. I tried to go with people who've never had like an actual long-term contract with those two companies. And I just think these are some of the rising people currently. There's probably lots of others I forgot, but these are the ones I kind of came up with off the top of my head that I think have big potential if they do ever go to one of those other to one of the two big companies, I should say. And there's some TNA talent in here, obviously. So they're kind of getting a cup of coffee, some of them, when they go like the NXT crossover or whatever. But that's kind of my mindset behind this.
Nice. I know we've gotten like a lot of guests in the past that said it was tough to do 16 in particular, but it is what it is. It's our opinion. It's just a fun little thing we're doing. So, we'll get into it. But before we even get to the episode and break down the bracket, for those listening or watching who have not seen an episode in the past, who don't know the rules, myself, Joel, and Tyler will go matchup by matchup, choosing which indie wrestler in this case is better than the other. Whichever participant gets 2 or 3 votes between the three of us, obviously, we'll move on to the next round, and we'll give our reasonings for why we chose that person. Same concept of the finals. This is an opinion-based show, so there's no right or wrong way to look at it. We could base it off of who is the better in-ring wrestler, who draws the more eyes, or just personal favorite. There's no specific way to look at it. With that being said, let's get right into the bracket. Tyler, because you are our guest, we're going to start out with you with the first matchup. In your opinion, who is the top indie wrestler that's not signed to either company, either between Zilla Fatu or one called Manders?
Now, for this one, it's very, very tough for me because it's very, very personal. Because I love Zilla Fatu. I think he's definitely one of the most talented people out there. And one called Manders is a former Iowa Hawkeye, Iowa guy, and that's where I'm at. So this one hits me hard, and and he's a guy actually. I mean, I've talked to at Wrestling Revolver shows, and like I know. Nice. So as much as it's going to pain me, I have to go with Zilla. I love Manders. I think Manders is basically kind of a modern day JBL, Barry Windham type. Just brute power. Kind of he does that. He does a big huge lariat for his finisher and does the cowboy thing and. I think he's great and has lots of potential, but I think I got to go Zilla just because I think I think he has major star potential, especially if he does make it to the WWE, as everybody wanting him to.
Yeah, that's the big company that people want to see him at. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, good choice. Joel, in your opinion, is it Zilla or one called Manders?
So I'm gonna go with one called Manders just because I feel like he's so much far developed. Zilla has so much potential, which he does. I think he's going to be a star. But I think at this moment right now, if they were to choose one person, I think it would be one called Manders. And I just recently found out about one called Manders.
Same here.
Like over, like right before Mania weekend. Got to see his matches over Mania weekend. Very impressed. So I gotta go with him over Zilla. But Zilla's not that far off. Like he has so much potential. Again, this is one of those things with the brackets that's like, if you ask me in 3 years, the answer probably changes. But for this moment right now, I'm going to go with one called Manders.
Ooh. Okay, so so FYI, Tyler, we sometimes one of us may be in the hot seat, depending on how it is.
Baby.
And we just started, and I'm already in the hot seat. That's crazy. These
this
two,
is the earliest one we've ever had.
I think so. I think this is maybe the earliest one we've gotten so far. But I agree with you, Joel. I discovered one called Manders during that Mania week. He's been on a lot of shows I was watching on the indie scene, and he's impressed me a lot. But if I'm going to choose between these two, I'm going to go with Zilla Fatu. Because for someone who is less than 2 years into the business, he's picked it up pretty quickly. Like,
oh, very true. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I understand wrestling is in his blood. He's a part of one of the biggest families in wrestling. Totally understand that. Exactly.
No.
But so I get it. He may have picked it up pretty quickly, but for someone who is still relatively new and very limited experience, he is, just someone who's very passionate about what he does. He's great in the ring. His promos, his again, he's just passionate about the whole sport, and he's putting every effort into how he can make himself improve in the ring, on social media, and how to draw attention from the audience. The one thing that really stood out to me for him was that the fact that he made the Superman thumb finisher that he does to kind of combine Roman Reigns and his dad.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool that he combined it both into one. But again, for someone who's relatively new to one called Manders, I still don't know much about him. I still haven't really seen much about him. Like I said, I just discovered him, so I'm still like getting to know you. And I also agree with you, Joel, but saying that if you ask me down the line, if which one of these I would choose, maybe my answer will change. But as of right now, I got to go with Zilla. Zilla's killing it right now. He's still talked about name, and he's just taking every opportunity he can to improve himself. So I got to shout him out there. Right exactly. So I couldn't not choose Zilla, so I'm going to go with Zilla for right now. So Zilla, we'll move on to the next round here. This is an interesting one. Next matchup, we have Max D. Impaler from NWA versus Blake Christian. Now, Blake Christian, I don't know if he's technically signed yet with AEW, but he has been featured a lot on the company as a recent. So we'll give him the pass here to put him on this list. Joel, we're going to start with you. Who do you have, Max D. Impaler or Blake Christian?
We're going to go personal here. I'm going to go with Max. It's just something about Blake Christian. He's great in the ring. I don't know. There's something about him that just doesn't connect with me. I don't know if it's his personality or like his promos. I don't know. There's something about him that just doesn't.
I think I know for you, Joel.
What is it?
Is it the same reason why you don't like Tony Nese?
No. But he reminds me a lot of Tony Nese. He's really good in the ring, just no personality. Like, please don't touch the mic.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler, he doesn't like Tony Nese because he thinks what was it?
Tony Nese was that was more personal. Like, I'll tell you the story.
No, not that story, but like he looks like he could be.
I was gonna tell the whole backstory. Oh yeah, he looks like he could be a star. Like Tony Nese.
Oh yeah,
when he signed to 205 Live, it was like, yo, what is WWE gonna do with him? And that was like they couldn't really do much because just his personality wasn't there. Great in ring, just couldn't really do much. And I feel that's where Blake Christian is going. But recently he has turned it around a little bit for me. But I'm still gonna go with Max because I think they're just so much better in the like. I feel like they know how to use the size of themselves. You know what I mean? Like Blake Christian is still doing just high flying stuff, which is awesome, but I feel like he just doesn't. I don't know. He just doesn't connect with me personally.
I mean, I understand.
Nothing against him, but
Max is very good. I think they are impressive in the ring. They're a powerhouse. So it's impressive. Their moveset is pretty cool. But for me personally, I've been starting to become more of a fan of Blake Christian. So I'm going to choose Blake Christian because. Again, I agree with you, Joel. I didn't like him at first, but I'm starting to like him more and more on my TV screen. I think it was right around the time where he started using that Jack Harlow song to kind of like promote himself.
Gotcha.
And use social media to kind of like uplift his brand a little bit. And the Vanilla Baby stuff. He's using that on AEW television and Ring of Honor. So I think that's pretty creative. Little things like that is what gets me a fan of somebody.
Gotcha.
And he's pretty smooth in the ring. I think it was the final battle
100%.
match.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. His final battle match, when it was a 6-man for the Ring of Honor Television Championship, him versus Commander. I did not want that match to end. They were going at it one-on-one.
He showed out for that. They all showed out in that match.
They did. And I just think, like, for a while, I just never saw the hype in him until this year, up until that match.
Yeah.
So, like, he's just a great high flyer. He's impressed me more and more every time he wrestles in the ring. I think it's a good thing that he was put more on television, on Collision and on Dynamite, and be able to see him on Ring of Honor, and all that exposure from him is, making me more of a fan. I'm glad he's getting that exposure finally. I know he was on NXT for a little bit a couple years ago, but
a little stint,
even at that time, at that time I was like, he wasn't doing much. So it was like, now he's doing more. And he's gotten better, older, wiser, and more experienced. So I'm gonna have to go with Blake Christian on this one. Tyler, now you're in the hot seat again.
Hot seat, baby.
Who do you have, Max Ian Powler or Blake Christian? Tyler, who do you have?
I agree with you about Blake as far as I do think lately he's definitely stepped it up and he's getting some of a personality. But I agree with Joel. I've kind of never connected with him, and I just it's like he looks the part, but he can't win me over on the mic or just in his actions or what he's doing half the time. And I think I'm gonna go Max just because I think Max is the gimmick that I love it. It's full blown. The movesets are awesome. It's just so good in the ring. Fun to watch. I'm going Max. I feel like Max is everything they wanted Sarah Logan to be in WWE.
True.
They never
got. That is a fair point.
I never saw the comparison until now.
And she's so scary. I mean, Max is I mean, they're very scary. Yeah.
Their face paint. Does Max still do the face paint or no? They kind of So their moveset is pretty dope. So I mean, I give them that, but I kind of got a little bit over with Blake as of recent. So
Blake, none against him. Just
again, like the first pair up. This is one. Give me a year or two, maybe the switches, but right now that's how I'm feeling.
He has the potential. I mean, Blake Christian, both of these people have the potential in the world to do a lot of things. Again, you guys said maybe that would change, but I don't know. I couldn't go against Blake. But Max, they move on to the next round. Now, next matchup, we have Mance Warner versus Calvin Tankman. These are two individuals. I'll start this one off.
This is a fun one.
This is a fun. It is because these two are talented in different ways. You have Mance Warner, who's more well known. I don't want to say the only thing he does is death matches, but that's what he's primarily known for. Right? Is what the matches he mostly does?
Yeah. For the most, I mean, he does them all, but I mean, that's his ones he really gets over on, and people remember.
Yeah, exactly. So I wasn't really a big fan of the death match, type of match, but I know he's been killing it with that. But for me, if I had to narrow it down from these two, I'm honestly gonna choose Calvin Tankman because Tankman is one of my favorite big men on the indies right now. For someone for his size and to move the way that he does is very fucking impressive. Like he moves like, I know a lot of people use this for a big man that's pretty fast, but he moves like a cruiserweight, and he does. He has that move set of someone who's like half his size. I've seen a couple of his promo abilities. He's great on the mic too, which is also pretty cool. He kind of reminds me of like a Samoa Joe and a Kevin Owens type of build and moveset.
Have that, yeah.
So it's like it's very cool to see that type of like big man move around. It's very impressive. And again, like his DPW matches is the matches that really got me over with him. And he has a very bright future ahead. So does Mance Warner. I know he just signed with TNA too, so he's killing it over there. But I feel like in terms of moveset specifically, Calvin Tankman has a lot of the movesets that kind of go far in a big company if you were signed. If he had that exposure, like from NXT or TNA or AEW, he'll probably get over quickly. So I'm gonna have to go with him. He's someone that's impressed me so far a lot. Tyler, who do you have, Mance Warner or Calvin Tankman?
This is extremely tough. Mance Warner, I'm very familiar with. Again, he did a lot of Revolver shows. Actually, him and Manders and Matthew Justice were part of SGC and Revolver. That was part of their shoot off with the GCW SGC, and they had some of the best matches there were in the company. Manser's a master on the mic. That's one thing I do want to say. I don't know if he's had a ton of potential outside of on TNA and stuff yet to really get into that. But after like every Revolver show, he'd grab the mic and he'd preach, is what he'd say, and he'd preach to the crowd, and it was just awesome. Even when he was covered in blood. But I think for me, I agree with everything you said about Calvin Tankman. I think he is a phenomenal athlete for his size and just the things he can do. And I think that is why I am going to agree with you on this one, and go Calvin Tankman. I think Manser has a good shot at winning this. I mean, down the line, I literally want to see what he does in TNA, and when he's not just doing the bloody matches, because especially now that they ban blood on the weekly show, and stuff. I'm curious to see how that works with him, what he can do, and just not do that. If he can evolve into just doing the regular stuff and crazy stuff without having to bleed. So that it's kind of like seeing what Moxley can do without bleeding. But I'm excited for both these guys' future. But yeah, I'm going Calvin.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, Manis has a little bit of the experience on TV here. So if Calvin has the TV exposure, maybe he'll get over pretty quickly. That's what I'm hoping for at some point for him to get a contract. But we don't know. I mean, I'm rooting for Mance, but I'm used to seeing the death match portion of him. So I'm still kind of getting used to the regular Mance Warder to see what he can do there. But yeah, Joel, who do you have? Is it going to be a clean sweep, or do you choose
it's a clean sweep. I love a big guy that can move, man. A guy that's agile. Like you said, I agree with you. He reminds me of a Samoa Joe that can move like Kevin Owens. So he's just on another level. Love Mance, but again, I agree with Tyler with saying I want to see what he could do without the blood.
Yeah.
He is great. I've seen him doing all the stuff in GCW, but a lot of that storytelling had to do with blood. And he's great at it. Not taking anything away from him. He's great at it, but want to see what he could do when he's just with, like, I guess, old school professional wrestling, no blood, no nothing, like tell a story that way.
That is cool. So, yeah.
Clean sweep.
Yeah. Clean sweep, man. Calvin Tankman, both these guys are pretty impressive. So yeah, Calvin Tankman moves on to the next round. Next matchup, we have Ace Austin from TNA versus Cruel from MLW. Joel, do you want to start this one off?
Yeah, I'll start it off.
Why'd I choose like what I did?
So you can put the one. I'm gonna go with Ace Austin. Yeah, I feel like he's very underrated. I feel like he's just tucked away in TNA, especially when he was a lot in the tag division.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see. I think he has a lot of potential to become not maybe. I wouldn't say the guy, but one of the guys, one of the top guys that could help take TNA to that next level. I hope he's able to, and they don't sign him before that, because I think he has a lot of potential. Cruel is awesome. The dude is huge and just wreck shit. Like, you can't even be mad at that. But there's something with Ace Austin, very underrated to me, and I've always been a fan. I actually met him a couple years ago, and watching him in person in a singles match, I was like, wow, this guy has a lot. So then when he was signed to TNA, I was like, this is awesome. But like, I feel like they haven't used him to his potential. So hopefully his due is around, but I'm going to go with Ace Austin for this one.
Okay. Good reasoning. Tyler, do you agree with him, or do you go with Cruel?
I am going to agree, actually. I love Cruel. Actually, both these guys I've seen a lot recently. Oh, I've seen Ace for years because Ace is a wrestling revolver staple.
Yes.
And actually kind of almost one of the trainers now for some of the stuff going on over there in Ohio with Sammy and stuff. But him and Cruel actually kind of already had a little thing back and forth actually in the ring, because there's a big storyline going now where Gia turned on Ace, which is Ace's actual significant other.
Oh, wow.
And then they and now Cruel and Fulton are, or I guess he has a new name now. They're in her stable, and they like went after him and stuff. So it's kind of interesting. But That's cool. Ace, everything you said about Ace is, I think, well-rounded, top to bottom, in and out of the ring. He can do it all. And I think he, especially the thing with Cruel is I love Cruel, and he's like you're actually real life Jason Voorhees. At the same time, you got to have someone to talk for him because he doesn't. I mean, he does talk some, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not his character.
He ain't gonna cut a promo. He ain't gonna cut an awesome promo that you're gonna remember for years. And I think Ace has that potential. So I think Ace is definitely the bigger, more potential star of the two, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with both of you. It's gonna be a clean sweep. I do think that, you know, Ace Austin has all the potential to be not just the best wrestler in TNA, but I think the best wrestler in the world. I feel like he hasn't really gotten that opportunity yet to go solo because he's been in a tag team with Chris Bay for so long. He did have this little stint before Bullet Club, to go around the X Division champion. He won that a few times, but I feel like if he's given a proper solo run now, he could potentially win the world championship and be a big star. Personally, I want to see him, you know, I don't want to say go to NXT, yes, do that and expand and get his name out there, but I want to go see him go like a little bit in Japan, to kind of do a stint there and, you know, running with the Bullet Club, since that hasn't really been brought to anyone's attention as of recent. You know, people forget that he's part of Bullet Club. Yeah. He never really left or anything, so I kind of want to see him there and kind of expand. True. People don't talk about that, and I'm like,
I forgot about that, to be honest.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not really brought to anyone's attention. But I kind of want to see what he does over there. Jay White brought them in. Sucks that WWE is doing the partnership now. Maybe he can't do Bullet Club stuff or appear on WWE TV because that's New Japan and they're partnered with AEW. But I kind of want to see him just a lot of loopholes. Yeah. But I just want to see him do more, and he's great in the ring. Has great promo abilities. He's able to do a lot. He could work very, very well as both a babyface and a heel, but we just haven't really seen much of that yet by himself, because I feel like as of late he's been paired with other people. He did stuff with the Hardys and TNA for a bit, and other people, the Nemeth brothers. So just give him more time, and he'll be able to expand his horizon and get more eyes on him. Cruel, I feel like he's just that typical big man. Not necessarily, I'm saying that in a bad way, no, but I'm saying like that's how I view him and what I've seen from him, which is cool. But sometimes it's just, I feel like that's very common. So, I'm going to have to go with Ace Austin here, and I just feel like he has a lot of potential to do a lot of big things in wrestling. So I'm going to have to go with Ace Austin there. Next round, we have Alex Kane versus Michael Oku. Tyler, I want to start with you with this one. Who do you think is the better in-ring wrestler in the scene?
This is another one. Michael Oku, I think, if you're not familiar with him, he's from the UK. He's done a few things here and there. I know, did he do something in AEW once? I can't remember, but
I think he did for like a little bit, like a brief time.
Yeah, but he's done some indie shows and stuff, I know, in the US, and he does a lot with Progress is his main thing over there, and he is, I think, super well-rounded. Again, kind of, in my mind, kind of in an Ace Austin mold. I think he kind of has everything. Plus, he's a lot more. I mean, he's got a lot more high flying, a little more agile too.
Yeah.
Then Alex Kane. I think Alex Kane. I love Alex Kane.
Yeah.
He's just so good. His character, his mic skills, his everything. He just convinces you he's got the charisma. He's got everything there is. And you see that guy and he's like, yeah, that is a professional wrestler. And I'm going to go Alex Kane on this one. I love Alex Kane.
Okay. Not a bad pick.
This is, again, another one down the road. Maybe I'd switch, but
understandable. But yeah, that's a good pick. Joel, do you agree with him on Alex Kane, or are you going to go with Michael Oku?
I agree. I'm going with Alex Kane, and only because I'm giving Kane the edge because of his promo skills. Okay. I think he's phenomenal on the mic. I think Oku is good. I think he just needs to step it up more. He is great in the ring. I just think Alex Kane is just overall more of a completed pro wrestler. Oku still needs to work on a couple things, which isn't a bad thing. He's still young.
Yeah.
But he is incredible in the ring. But I'm gonna go with Kane for this one.
Ooh, okay. I would say Alex Kane too. I think he's I agree with both of you. I do think he's a great technical wrestler, but I kind of feel like Michael Oku, in my opinion, is a better in-ring performer. May not be better on the mic, or most of the things that Alex Kane is good for, but I feel like in the ring he's better overall in that aspect. His match against Ospreay that happened at Rev Pro earlier this year, I believe that was earlier this year. That when it was like a 30-minute match, or was it an Iron Man match? Something like that. Him versus Ospreay that happened. I can't remember, but I remember watching it. And I'm like, damn, this kid's pretty good. I'm surprised no one has signed him yet. Because right now he's killing it. I think he had a match this past weekend at Maple Leaf against Speedball and Gabe Kidd. So I think both of them. He's a great in-ring worker, very athletic, very skillful. He's a great high flyer. He knows how to sell moves pretty well for someone. I don't want to say unexperienced, but someone who's still like up and coming. He knows how to sell moves pretty well. So I think if I were a promoter or someone who runs a TV wrestling show like a Tony Khan or Triple H, I would sign Michael Oku over Alex Kane in my opinion. That's the guy that I want on my TV screen that sells tickets and puts on great matches. I mean, nothing against Alex Kane. I think he is a great wrestler too. It's just I just see more potential in Michael Oku and being a TV star over Alex Kane. Again, not saying that Alex Kane isn't, but I just want to go with Michael Oku in this one.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Michael here, even though Alex Kane's moving on to the next round anyway. So that vote didn't really matter anyways. But
it matters. Stop it.
Yeah,
your vote still counts. Okay?
Exactly. Next round we have, I don't know how to pronounce this one. Is it Hyen?
Yep.
Hyen versus Masha Slamovich. In this next matchup, I'm going to start this one off. I'm going to go with Masha. I've been a fan of Masha for the past 5 years. I first discovered her early pandemic. And I think she is a phenomenal worker, a great wrestler. She can work any style of wrestling, intergender wrestling, hardcore wrestling, any type of wrestling you want to throw at her, she'll probably work it and do very well. And I'm glad she was able to get picked up by TNA at least and work there. I know there was a couple of years where she wasn't on TV, and she was just working strictly the indies. She just consistently posts on great matches. Again, no matter what matches she in, she was able to put a phenomenal banger of a match. And it continues to impress me in every way she can. I'm glad she made a few appearances in NXT. I'm surprised she didn't really have a program there yet. I know she did something with Cora Jade before she got released, but it's phenomenal. And again, she's always impresses me every single time she competes in the ring. I'm glad she's the Knockouts champion. I hope she gets more competitive wrestlers in TNA to kind of go up against her. But high end, I'm still getting used to. I just discovered her, I think, when you sent me this list, so I'm still kind of getting used to watching her in the ring. So, I'm going to have to go with Masha. I've been watching her for a while, and again, I've just always been a fan of her. So, I'm going to have to go with Masha on this one. Tyler, who do you have, Masha or Hyen?
I'm going to have to go with Masha too, because I think Masha's just top to bottom. Like you said, she can do it all. And I think, especially since when she came into TNA till now, she has grown immensely. Like she kind of had almost a gimmick when she first started with the Russian, all this stuff. And now she's just herself, and she purveys that she's a scary lady. You don't want to mess with her, and can back it up. So Hyen, I'll just say this about Hyen. Hyen is probably one of the best women's wrestlers in the ring there is out there that's not definitely signed to one of the big companies. She kind of, reminds me of a Julia or Stephanie McCool, that talent wise, in my opinion. I think she definitely has major potential if someone does pick her up. But Masha for me right now is just killing it. And I don't, as far as even women's wrestlers outside of like the two big companies, like we said, I don't think there's really anybody better in my opinion right now.
Makes sense. I agree. Joel, do you sweep this one or do you go Hyan?
Yeah, Masha, it's 3-zip. But Hyan, like, I discovered her on Dark a couple years ago when she was facing Martinez for the ROH belt. She was incredible. And then another match, also, Nick, you gotta check out, is her versus Julia. New Japan Strong. That's another one. She's incredible in the ring.
That's a classic.
Yeah, but Masha's on another level, and like Tyler said, like, she came in with a gimmick and now she's just being herself. It's working even better. She doesn't really have to try too hard. She's so effortless in the ring. But yeah, I gotta go with Masha. It's a clean sweep.
Okay, another clean sweep on the board. Great pick. I mean, agreed. Masha is a future. She's still young. She's like mid-20s. So the fact that she's still killing it and going at it, is impressive. You know, she's still getting better, which is crazy. To see her so young and still going at it, and
yeah, and they're definitely recruiting her in TNA. She's definitely the one that not like she's probably another Jordan Grace. She's not getting away from WWE. You know what I mean? They got her eyes on their eyes on her.
They're recruiting her too. Her and Joe Hendry are like the next two that going over.
1,000%.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, go for them. Go for them if they go. But it's just yeah. But yeah, Masha does move on to the next round. Next matchup, we have Myron Reed, who just returned to MLW, which is pretty cool, versus Gringo Loco. Tyler, do you want to start this one off?
Two guys I am, again, super familiar with. Both, like I said, Revolver guys, which is my promotion I watch a lot. I go to. I'm always front row. I know both these guys very, very well. This is tough. Gringo, I love Gringo. Gringo is super talented. He does some crazy stuff. Decent on the mic. I feel like he's definitely going to get picked up if that's his choice, if that's what he wants to do with like AEW or somebody. But Myron, when I first got introduced to Myron, was a shell of what he is now. He is really he's the current Revolver World Champion, and he has just ran with it, and really his mic skills are just there now. He's always been superb in the ring, and I'm going Myron because I think Myron is a lot of potential, and it's just getting better and better all the time.
True. Joel, do you agree with him, or are you going with Gringo Loco?
I agree. I was actually going to bring that up. I was going to say his mic skills have finally caught up with his wrestling skills, and he is just killing it right now. He's on another level. Gringo is incredible though.
Yeah.
And watching Gringo live is actually really fun.
Oh yeah.
But I do agree with Ty. It's really up to him. I feel like he's one of those guys that's like, oh, I'll sign if I sign. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that a company could do with Myron, I feel like Gringo, they kind of put him in this kind of bubble with just cruiserweights. They don't really let him expand from out of there, and I feel like that's a lot of companies he's like working for. They put him in that cruiserweight bubble, but I feel like he could do so much more. But for just because of that, and Myron finally catching up with his mic skills and actually showing like he could take a lead of a company and lead it with the world champion, you gotta go with Reed.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I'm gonna go with Myron Reed, but I love Gringo Loco. Like, you know, he doesn't look like an average cruiserweight, but he's definitely for sure moves like one. He definitely for sure
like one, yeah.
He is so. Both of these guys are smooth in the ring. Like, they are just naturals. They are still young. Myron Reed's like in his 20s still. I think he's around our age, or Joel. And he, like, I remember seeing him early pandemic too. One of the other guys I kind of noticed in the indie scene back then, and it was like for someone who's progressed so much over this time, and another one who's still going to get better by the day. The fact that he's still in his mid to late 20s and is this good so far it's kind of scary in a good way. But like he could be a key staple point for any company that signs him. I know like I said, he returned to MLW. I thought he was still with TNA. I thought he was still doing stuff with the Rascals. I know him and Kelly had a baby recently, so no, I thought he took time off of that. But so I thought he was going back to TNA and do stuff there because I think they could really use him. But glad that he's back in MLW. I hope at some point in the future he ends up getting picked up by at least AEW, because I feel like he fit there very, very well. Especially in today's landscape of AEW, he could definitely fit right in like a glove, and he could do a lot over there. I just big fan of him. Shout out to Gringo Loco too. I think I saw him once live. Was he there, Joel, at one of the Grand Slam Arthur Ashe shows? I feel like he competed one of those two.
Oh man, I couldn't tell you.
I feel like he was. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I've seen him in person. Maybe it was HOG, but I've never been to an HOG show. But I don't know. I've seen him somewhere live, and I was like, okay, maybe this guy's pretty good. But Myron Reed just has all the tools so far at a young age, so he's going to be the future in MLW, and if he ends up getting a contract somewhere else afterwards. So shout out to Myron Reed. He's just so smooth in the ring, man. He's so good. Already in the ring for someone his age. So shout out Myron Reed, man. I'm going to go with him. He also is a clean sweep. Going forward, now the last matchup in the first round, we have Killer Kelly versus Jake something. Joel, I want to start with you. Who do you have? Which one is better in your opinion?
Love Killer Kelly. Big fan. Jake something just looks like, if you look up wrestler, I feel like Jake something's picture would just come up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He has the look. He's good in the ring. I discovered him, I believe, when he was in TNA, during dark times of TNA when no one was watching.
Yeah.
And he really stood out to me, and I was like, wow, like I wonder if TNA could do something with this guy, if they could just try something out with him, and they did here and there, but never really like shot for the moon with him.
Yeah.
What I've seen since I've seen him in TNA, he's incredible.
Yeah.
Like I said, you look a pro wrestler, Jake something pops up. He's just incredible. I haven't watched recent matches. The last match I saw was like maybe 2023, but he could only get better. You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, he can only get better. So for that, I'm gonna go with Jake something. I love Killer Kelly. Shout out to her, just having the kid, right?
Yeah.
Recently, incredible. She's gonna come back and do even great things, because I remember watching something in Wrestling Revolver with the group that they had, and they were cutting a promo, and I was just like, wow, this is very like she brings you into the promo for some reason. Yeah. I don't know. It captivated me.
Her character work just amazing. She just, like you said, she knows how to bring you in and draw attention. Like, I'm not going to keep my eyes off of this.
Exactly. Yes. She's incredible. But I'm going to go with Jake something for this, because I just feel like he has so much potential. Like, a company could pick him up and just put the rocket on him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they won't be disappointed.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Tyler, do you agree with him, or are we going to go with Killer Kelly?
Okay. I love Kelly. I love Kelly. Kelly knows I love her. I know. I know her. Her Myron pretty good, but like you said, you look at pro wrestler, you see Jake something. That's just what it is. And Jake is hurt right now. I didn't know if you knew that, but
okay.
But right before he got injured, he was, I think, on fire. Probably the best time of his career. He held at least one or two indie championships, and didn't he have a title in TNA? I can't remember, but
I don't think
he was rolling. I think if he wouldn't have got injured, I think we would be seeing him pretty quickly in that big title picture, Joe Hendry, all that stuff. Yeah. But yeah, Jake, I think Jake is, like you said, just the prototypical, this is a pro wrestler, and he can back it up. Everything he does in the ring is solid. And like you said, I love Kelly. I think Kelly's awesome with her character work. Kelly's fun in the ring. But yeah, I think Jake's my pick. I'm going with.
I guess we're going to do another clean sweep here, because I'm also going to do something. And he has a lot of potential. From what I knew, he was signed to TNA. I've seen the name, but from what I discovered from him was from DPW, Deadlock Pro. I've seen a lot of his matches later, and I'm like, damn, why doesn't TNA use him a lot more? Because I know they've used him a lot on TV, but it's just they have something in something. You know what I mean? No pun intended. But like he has something in him, and he's very good. He's a strong. Again, like, agree with you. What guys saying, like he looks like the typical pro wrestler, not in a bad way. He has the move set. He is very strong, very athletic, very fast, and if he could be a world champion in TNA, but I don't know why they don't use him as much. Now you told me before, Tyler, that he's injured. Now I didn't know that before, but maybe that's why he's kind of not really been seen as much. But I hope when he comes back, they give him the rocket ship and just let it take off, because he could be something. Again, no pun intended. I didn't mean it in a pun, but like
Nick
he
does that a lot.
You know, that one wasn't on purpose. That one was not on purpose. That was an accident. But he has a lot of potential. It's just I think TNA has to put him on TV to let the fans know that he has potential. I don't think they're doing that with him, because I'm assuming they know it, but show it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they gotta pull the trigger.
Exactly. Give them a title. They have the international championship now. They have so much going on over there. He could fit in TNA so well, and definitely compete for the title or win a championship. And I'm surprised. I don't think he has, from my knowledge. Maybe he does. Then I don't know. But he could be a champion in TNA. He has all the tools, but they haven't given him anything to build with. So TNA, if you're listening to this, please give him something to do.
Yeah, do something with something, man.
Do something with something. Hashtag do something with something. But yeah, shout out to Jake something. He's definitely moving on to the next round. Now we have the second round up and coming. The first matchup in the second round is Zelvatu versus Max the Impaler. I'm going to start off with you, Tyler. Who do you think was the better independent wrestler between these two? It's going to get tougher now.
It is. This is getting really hard. I think going back to what we said in the first round, I think Zilla's on fire. I think Zilla has a lot more potential to come. I think Max is basically at the top of their game. And just the character work and the in-ring and everything is it's solid. Boy, I'm going Zilla. I'm gonna go Zilla. I gotta go Zilla. I just feel like he's the talk of the town right now, and I gotta go with Zilla.
Okay. Not a bad
pick. I'm so split though. It just barely.
Yeah. Joel, do you agree with him? Do you have Zilla or do you have Max?
Yeah, I got Zilla because he's just getting better, man. And Max is at the top of their game, but Zilla's is just rising and is already on fire. So who knows what happens when Zilla reaches that potential that everyone's talking about. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think I'm going to agree with both of you. Clean sweep here. I love Max. They're very good. I don't think Max has a lot of exposure. I think that I'm not saying people don't watch NWA. It's just I think that's not a company that people are keeping their eye on. Maybe here and there.
No one watches NWA. Say it.
I didn't want to say that.
I know you want to say it.
I didn't want to say it. I just feel like if they had the exposure, maybe people would be a fan of them. But I think Zilla is just killing it right now, and he's doing everything he can to make sure that people still talk about it. Even though he, again, like I said before, he has about like 2 years or less, of experience in the ring, but he's already putting his name out there and doing what he can to hustle and get his name somewhere, so that way he could be signed. I'm gonna go with Zilla. Zilla's killing, and he still has a lot of room to improve. And for someone who picked it up so quickly, I'm impressed. Both of these individuals have a long, I don't want to say long way to go, but a bright future, very bright future with these two. I'm gonna go with Zilla, and he has a clean sweep here again. Next matchup, we have Calvin Tankman versus Ace Austin. Joel, I want to start with you with this one. Sorry to put you on the spot, but do you have Calvin or Ace?
I'm not gonna back down. It's Ace Austin. I talked all that stuff in the first round about how I think he could be a star, how I think he could be one of the guys, if not the guy. And I think he's another one that he still hasn't reached his full potential yet. I feel like he's still on his way there, still figuring it out. Calvin Tankman, love a big man that can move. I'm a huge fan of Tankman. I just feel like Austin Tankman. I feel like he's one of those guys that could be a supporting cast, which is not a bad thing. But I don't know if he is the guy. If someone will put the strap on him and be like, take us to the promised land as a company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like Ace Austin really has the potential to do that. Again, I might be wrong. He might not be able to, but I think he has the potential to do it. I'm going to go with Ace Austin.
Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. Tyler, do you agree with him or are you going to choose Calvin?
I'm going with Ace too. I feel like you said, I think he's got that it factor that he could be, like you said, the guy. And yeah, Calvin. Well, I love Calvin, and like you said, Calvin's amazing for his size and what he can do. And I just feel like I don't, like you said, I could see him more of a supporting cast than as the guy, the top guy.
Yeah.
And I just feel like Ace could do pretty much anything he wants to, honestly, in the business.
Yeah. That is true. That is true. And I'm going to agree with both of you. I'm also choosing Ace Austin. I mean, Calvin is very, very good. I can't take away his in-ring ability. He's just phenomenal what he's doing right now. I'm genuinely surprised that no one has given him a contract. I know he was part of MLW for a little bit a couple years ago, but since then he's just been running the indies and doing his thing. Ace Austin has the platform to show what he can do, and I think he's shown everyone what he could do. But he's kind of like what I said with Jake something. It's just, can TNA or will TNA show everyone what he can do? Because I know he can move in the ring. I know he has all the tools to become a great wrestler and be a star, but TNA has to make him a star. They got to put him in big matches, big stories, and be able to do everything. I mean, he's been in the tag team division. He's been in the X division. We need to see him as a world champion and see if he can run that and go up against the heavy hitters in TNA and potentially go against the heavy hitters in NXT if that ever happens down the line. Give him a good story, and I'm sure he'll be, a talked about individual going forward. And I believe he has the ability to be the guy. I know he will. Again, like you said, Joel, I agree with you. Just will he? Will he be that guy? I feel like he can. He has all the tools. And like I said with Jake, something is just he has the tools, but TNA isn't giving him the other equipment to build something with. As long as they do that, he can definitely build a house, and just be the guy in the company. So I'm going to go with Ace Austin, and he's just phenomenal in the ring. I just love everything about him. So another clean sweep in the second round.
Your mic disconnected.
Yep.
Oh, hold up. I heard it once it like glitched. I was like, "Oop, it's gonna shut off."
Yep.
Still nothing, bud.
Yeah, it says you're muted on this.
Yeah, it says you're muted. Maybe.
Duh.
There we go.
Hit the button.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, I didn't realize
I've done that before.
I didn't even peep that.
I didn't really.
I was over here like, nah, we don't hear you.
Mic.
That was embarrassing. Jesus Christ. Okay, so now we're good. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, what was the last thing I said? I forgot what I said. What was the last thing that you guys heard from me? I forgot what I said.
You just
now he was wrapping up about Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I just feel like he was a phenomenal wrestler. I think I said everything I wanted to say. So, Ace Austin moves to the next round. Now, next matchup, we have Alex Kane against Masha Slamovich. I want to start this one off.
Start it off.
This is tough because both of these already have the 5-tool aspect of wrestling. They both are great on the mic, great in the ring, could put on a great match, could tell a great story. But I feel like for the longer period of time, I've been more of a fan of Masha because she can, I said in the first round, she could do anything. Put her in a different style of match and she can kill it. A Rival Wrestling, shout out to Isaac, who's put her in a lot of, pure rules type of matches, which is a straight fight pit. And every time she competes in intergender matches in pure rules, which is even better to see. That's the type of fighter I like to see from someone who is able to do everything. And she has a bright future. I feel like at this point in TNA, she has proven to be the face of the division, and she could be the face of the company. I think when she beat Jordynne Grace for the title, that was like the passing of the torch, and I think she's had the torch and used it pretty well to just to be the face of that division over there in TNA. I love Alex Kane. I wish he had another platform to go to be like, all right, this is what I could do. I love what he's doing. I love with everything that he's done in MLW, but I wish he can I don't want to say get out of there, but try something different. And explore other places. That way people can see what he has. I know he's already getting a huge following. If he goes elsewhere, maybe he can get an even bigger following. Who knows? But yeah, I just feel like Masha already has everything and has the exposure and has the ability to be the face of a division. So I'm gonna go with Masha there. Joel, do you agree or do you go with Alex Kane?
I love Alex Kane, but I'm gonna go with Masha just because I feel like you could do so much more with her. As you talked about, like the pure rules and intergender matches, there's so much more you could do with her. Again, we talked about in the first round, she don't really need to have a gimmick. You just gotta let her be herself, and she'll really deliver.
Yeah.
Kane is not that far off though. Like we talked about in the first round, he's a complete wrestler. He's incredible in the ring, on the mic. Like you can't ask for more. I do agree with you though that he is a little like tucked away in MLW. I hate that MLW is like that. I feel like they should be on a way bigger platform.
Yeah.
I always make the joke that that's like, I hate saying it, but that's like the land of the misfits, just because it's like that's where everybody's trying to figure out. I feel like that's where everybody hones himself and then goes somewhere else and just delivers. So MLW does have its place in wrestling. So I just hate that it's so tucked away.
Yeah.
But I do love Kane. I just gotta go with Masha for this one. I think you could do so much more with her. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Tyler, do you have a clean sweep or are you choosing Alex Kane?
We're sweeping it. I mean, you guys pretty much nailed everything. I think Alex, like you said, I think he is what he is. I mean, if he, I'm trying to think how to say it. If he broke outside of what he does now, and maybe we saw a different side or aspect to him, maybe I would push him farther. But Masha, like you said, like we've talked about, Masha's Masha. Masha can do it all. Masha can do anything. And I honestly, like you said, I think she's the face of TNA right now with Knockouts division. If she goes to WWE, I think she thrives in WWE. I just feel like she can do anything she wants, and I think she can be the face of one of the big companies and women's division, basically. And or like you said, even in the intergender matches and stuff. If either one of the two big companies ever decided to actually start doing that, I mean,
would thrive.
Who better off?
Yep.
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, she's just brilliant.
She is, man. She is. Shout out to Alex Kane too. He's phenomenal in any way. It's just I agree with you what you said, Joel. I was like they're like the misfits trying to find their way. I feel like he's found his way already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just needs to go somewhere else and be like, and this is what I could do.
One thing about Alex, I just want to say is Alex is a very good friend to the wrestling social media community. I mean, he's done a lot. He does a lot of interviews with people, and like he definitely is a part of the community in a way. Just I know he gives a lot of time and a lot of positive stuff to a lot of the people in our content creating community of pro wrestling. So
shout out to Alex Kane. Yeah, shout out Alex Kane. I hope you're listening to this because I want to get him on the show.
Even though we got down 3-0. We're still showing love, right?
Yeah, Alex. We love you. This doesn't mean a lot, Alex. Still don't come at us.
It wasn't hate. Yeah, it was just
it's not hate.
Masha, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Masha though. Shout out to Alex Kane too. But last matchup in the second round, we have Myron Reed and Jake something. Joel, do you want to start this one off? What do you feel like the better one? Sorry. Do you want to go with Tyler? I don't know.
Nah, I'll kick it off. I'm gonna go with Myron Reed for this one. I'm gonna go with Myron. I just think that he's really figured it out. I feel he's like we talked about, his mic skill has finally matched up to his in-ring ability. I think that's going to go a long way. It shows that he could be a champion, hold it, and really put the company on his back and lead it in a good direction. Jake something, we talked about him in the first round. Incredible. You look up wrestler, it's Jake something. That's the guy right there. He was incredible when I've seen him. Sucks that he's injured right now. Hopefully he overcomes that, comes back stronger than ever. Hopefully, if not TNA, another company looks at him and says, "There, no pun intended, there's something here. Let's sign him and do something," because he deserves that. He's put in the work. But at this moment right now, if I was looking at it, I would go with a Myron Reed.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Tyler, do you agree with him, or do you go with Jake something?
Like you said earlier, I mean, Jake is the stereotypical, this is a professional wrestler. He looks the part, he does the part. But Myron, like we've been talking, on fire right now. I think Myron's figured it out. Myron's got so much more potential from where he already is, and he's already killing it. I gotta go Myron. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually do another clean sweep. I'm gonna go with Myron too. I mean, Myron already at his age is already a phenomenal at every aspect of wrestling. If I were to sign one of these two specifically, I'm choosing Myron first because he is so young and he has everything that you can ask for in a pro wrestler. And he's only getting better by the day. He's still his progress from day one to now, from day one from when I was watching him till now. He's gotten so good. He's just a natural in the ring, so smooth. It's like he's been doing this for many decades, but he's only 20 something years old. The fact that he could do everything he can at such a young age is just phenomenal. You know, again, Jake something, he also is very good. But if he is someone that I would take on my roster any day of the given week, but it's just, I feel like at the moment he's not. I mean, yes, he's injured, but he's not being used as what he could be. It's not his fault. Obviously, he can't book himself in companies, but it's just we need more exposure and more story from him to be like, okay, this guy has it. But from what I've seen of him, I already know he has it. It feels like TNA has to use him whenever he gets back and be like, this is our guy. This is the face of the company. They've had him. He's been there for years, and I feel like he's been in the same position since day one. Which is just another guy in the roster. Just like we said with Calvin Tankman, he's just a role player. And he shouldn't be. He should be the guy. So, but he's not at the moment, unfortunately. But I'm going to go with Myron Reed. Myron Reed should be the face and the ace of A Division L in any company, no matter where he signs. So I'm going to go with Myron Reed there. Every round was a clean sweep in the second round. Now we're to the final four. Oof. This is going to get tough. This is
really tough.
The first round in the final four, we have Zilla Fatu and Ace Austin. I think I'm going to start this one off because I already have my answer. I'm going to go with it pains me to say this, but I'm going to go with Zilla Fatu. I love Ace Austin. But I feel like if we're talking strictly WWE and AEW and where they can go, I feel like Zilla Fatu has a better chance of going to one of those companies over Ace Austin. And I get it. The bloodline, part of the family, it's easier for him to get there, right? He's got the ties. His father was Umaga. But I feel like he's that good and he's made a name for himself so quickly that any place could sign him immediately and be like, yeah, this is our guy. This is our franchise player. Same thing with Ace Austin, but the thing that kind of sticks out to me with him is what Joel said before, where it's like we don't know. He is that good to be the guy of the company, but we don't know unless we see him do that. But Zilla, I feel like he's there already. We know he's going to be the main event guy. You know what I mean? We've seen what he could do. We see how much passion and ability he has and what he can do going forward. I'm not saying that Ace Austin doesn't. It's just I feel like a lot of people have a lot of faith in Fatu over Austin to be able to put the rocket ship on his back and be like, yeah, he's gonna win the world championship in X amount of years, and that X may not be a big number. with Ace Austin, I feel like he's been stuck in the same position to where for many years, and again, also not his fault, but we got to wait and see. Will that happen? When will it happen? We don't know. So that's the question we have for Ace Austin. I love him. He has all the ability in the world, but Zilla is just that guy right now. He's doing everything anywhere and everywhere. So I'm going to have to go with Fatu. Joel, who do you have, Fatu or Ace Austin?
I'm going with Ace Austin. I'm on this hill, man. I'm not getting off. I'm going with Ace Austin. Also, I love Zilla. He has the potential. I want to see more from Zilla, though. I feel like I don't know. I feel like we see him just go through the Rolodex, which is cool. Like, he's a star. He's getting over. Like, he's doing what he has to do. He's entertaining. But I feel like Ace Austin just could do whatever you need him to do in the ring. You know what I mean? He's not stuck in just a bubble that's like, okay, this is that type of match. You know what I mean? Like, Zilla's always going to be that type of wrestler. Like, it's just going to be a powerhouse. I feel like Ace Austin is kind of all around. Nothing on Zilla. Again, we talked about he's only 2 years in. There's so much potential that he could go through. And signing with a company now and going through the developmental and figuring himself out even more is going to be scary. But at this moment, if I didn't have to like hope and be like, oh, maybe developmental, I'm going with Ace Austin.
Okay, makes sense. That makes sense. Tyler,
and also I want to put Tyler in the hot seat.
You have to do it to our guest. You have to do it to our guest. Tyler, who do you have, Zilla or Ace Austin?
Listening to both of your guys' sides on this, I think, like Joel said, today, right now, I got to go Ace Austin. Just because I believe, like, Zilla's killing it right now, but he's so young. There's so much potential, but we haven't seen him do it yet. I mean, there's one thing about having the potential, having the bloodline, and all of that, but you still got to carry through and you got to make it happen. And that's why right now Ace has been doing it for a long time. Ace is so well rounded. I just feel like Ace at this point in time, Ace Austin is the choice. Again, if you ask me this in a year or two,
might be different.
Probably the opposite thing. But at the point in time, I got to see Zilla actually live up to the hype. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
If he were to go on to the big leagues, as I like to put it.
That's fair. That's fair enough. I would agree with that. That is true. But anyways, Ace Austin moves on to the next round. But rightfully so. I'm a fan of Austin. I just feel like Zilla at this point has already separated himself from the family, to where if you get rid of the last name, you call him Zilla. I think
he's
still
he's still a big deal. Yeah,
exactly. So that's the way I was looking at it. I love Ace. I mean, Ace Austin rightfully so goes to the next round, anyways, into the finals. But other semifinal, final four matchup we have is Masha Slamovich versus Myron Reed. I want to start off with Tyler, so you're not in the hot seat. We have Masha and Myron Reed.
This one absolutely kills me.
Yeah, two fan favorites.
Yeah, it could go either way for me. I think I got to go Masha just for the pure and simple fact, like we've talked. I think she's well-rounded. She's on fire. She's herself, and she's had it figured out for a little while now, and she could lead a division. And I think Myron's, while he's broken out a lot lately, I don't know if he's that guy yet, but I think he can get there. But yeah, Masha could be the face of a woman. Well, she already is a face of a women's division, and I think if you put her in, like I said, WWE or even AEW, she could be the face of either of those women's divisions. So
that is so true. That is so true. Joel, do you agree?
I agree 1,000%. Like Tyler said, Masha's on fire. She's been doing it, and she's honed it for so long that she has it figured out. Myron's still figuring it out, and it's good that he could show that he's a leader now. He's still coming into himself. So because for this final four, I'm looking at it like right now. If I was to sign somebody, I'm going with Masha.
That is true.
And wherever she signs next, she automatically becomes the face, I think. Which is crazy, but Yeah.
Place her anywhere. It's insane. Place her anywhere. I'm gonna have to do another clean sweep with Masha. It's just she's so good already, and it's scary that these two are the same age, and the fact that Masha can, like you guys said, put her in any division and she could be the face and the top and the go-to person already. She's been wrestling for I don't know how many years, but she's like a veteran at 20-something years old. Yeah. And to be this good so far, that's scary to see what she could do in 5, 10, 15 years and how good she could be then. She could be a Hall of Famer, any division, any company, no matter where she goes, because she could do literally anything. I don't want to sound like a broken record because I said it the entire rounds, but any style of match, she's so good in that. Even though she's done a lot of the same thing, like death matches, intergender matches, pure matches. I understand it's repetitive in how she works, but that's her style and that's what she's comfortable in. And if she branches out and does a lot more, I'm sure she'll kill it in that. I mean, Myron Reed is so good too, but I just think that I don't know. I just mess with Masha more. Masha's been so dominant so early, and she's been this way for many years. It wasn't like a recent thing. Mm-hmm. She's been like this for many years. So the fact that she's been like this so long is just incredible. And I'm gonna have to go with Masha. She's just very good so far.
Yeah, she's like what I hope Mance becomes, like the all around that could do any match you put him in.
Yeah.
Ask him, hey, be in this position, and he'll be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm glad TNA picked him up because now we get to see. I mean, I know they used blood last week, which is kind of weird how they got rid of it and they still use blood in TNA.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna only use it when like it's needed, like for the story.
Yeah,
which I'm okay with. Yeah.
That is true. But we are at the final round of this bracket. We do have two TNA people, Ace Austin and Masha Slamovich. Joel, do you want to start this one off?
Yeah, I got off the hill. It's Masha. I got off the hill, guys. It's a Masha. I just love Masha so much. I just think she's so incredible. I love Ace. I think he has so much potential. I think if somebody gives him the chance, if they give him a spot to go at bat, he's gonna hit a home run.
Yeah.
They just need to give him that chance. I think Masha is just so complete. We've said it round after round. I feel like it's getting repetitive, so I'm gonna just say it's Masha.
True. Okay, that's fair. Tyler, do you agree with him, or are you gonna go with Ace Austin?
I'm on the Masha train, so
okay.
She's just so dang good and just has so much potential to shine even bigger than where she's at right now, and she's already shining. So
yeah,
I'm all about it. And like I said, Ace is also right there. So either way, you're not picking a bad person on this one, but I think Masha edges them out a little bit. So
yeah, that is true. I mean, Masha already won, but I'm going to choose her anyways. She gets the clean sweep in the finals. I love Ace Austin, but I agree with what I was going to say. Exactly what you said, Joel. It's just Ace hasn't really gotten the time to shine yet. By himself, Masha has gotten the shine already. Every time she was like, I'm going to use the same analogy. Every time she's at the plate, she hit a home run every single time. Yeah. And I'm sure Ace Austin could do the same exact thing. But along with the baseball analogy, hasn't been at bat a lot.
Exactly.
To hit the home run.
Yeah.
And they need to put him on in the rotation a lot and see what else he could do besides, the same thing, being in tag matches and multi-man matches and all this stuff. Again, I'm not going to sound like a broken record. And the last thing I'm going to say is that Masha could do everything.
Yeah.
And that's it. She's a star already at 20 something. And she hasn't even, this is her prime and she's already so young still.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. So
this might not even be her prime. That's the crazy part.
True.
That's the crazy part.
So true. And I can't wait to see what her future holds. She's just that good. Nothing against Ace Austin, but Masha's already has everything. She has.
I mean, this whole list deserves to be looked at by WWE and AEW. Like, come on, this list is ridiculous. Tyler did a great job coming up with this list.
This was a tough bracket, let me tell you.
Shout out Masha winning. Yeah, this was a tough bracket, man.
Yeah, it was very tough. So Masha Slamovich won the entire bracket. Shout out to you, Tyler. Thank you. We really appreciate you coming on and taking time to do this bracket with us and being on this episode. Before we log off, where can people find your content and follow you on all platforms?
first off, just thanks for having me. I mean, it was a blast. I've been looking forward to this. But yeah, you can find me pretty much every social media platform, Tyler Wrestles on all of them. Otherwise, you can just go, I am TylerWrestles.com, has all of my social media links, all my Discord, my affiliate links, all that stuff's all on there. So TylerWrestles.com, you can find all my social media through that. So.
And you stream Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, NXT.
I stream Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I'm debating. I might start doing TNA just because not many people do TNA, and like as we saw on this list, I'm familiar with a lot of TNA talent, and I like a lot of TNA talent. So I think it'd just be kind of cool to give them a little bit more exposure and stuff too. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. We'll definitely leave all your links in the description of the YouTube video. So if anyone listening to this, go check him out. He puts a lot of great content. Big fan of yours, Tyler, and we appreciate you again for coming on this episode. Once again, this was season 3, episode 5. I am Nick with Joel and Tyler, and we will see you guys next time.
Gotcha.